I was gonna say maybe.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Giga Geeks podcast. I am your host, the Giga Gamer Dad, and with me tonight, let's see what her name is today.
Oh my gosh. Just go with DC. We're fine with DC.
I'm just gonna go with DC. We're just gonna go with DC now.
Gosh. You're killing me, Smalls.
Still calling you Panda because it's just
I know everyone
easier
still
to
calls me.
remember. Uh, the PTSD Panda.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fucked up name that is, right? So, how are you? You just went to go do jujitsu, right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I got it handed to me. So a couple of my friends go, but like at the last like 10 minutes, it's like two. So like there's 6 groups of 2,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have like your line. So then it's like whoever goes out, goes in, and then it's just like a rotating thing. Usually with my friends, they're like, okay, we'll just work on, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Today she's like, you're going in the line. I'm like, okay.
You got your ass handed to
These
you then.
dudes are
So
huge, but
so everybody took their turn with you.
I guess. Oh, I could
I
only
was gonna say
handle like
Greg's
five
gonna be pissed.
5 rounds was all I could handle. Um, no, so I actually
Oh
got
boy.
3 to tap out. So go me.
Atta girl.
And they
Three
like
out
they
of
were
five ain't bad.
gentle. They were gentle, but they still didn't show like much, mercy. And so I went up against the guy that teaches our class, and he's like, "All right, show me what you got." I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
So those of you that are just tuning in, she's talking about jujitsu,
It's
nothing
you.
dirty.
So
I'm just sitting over here dying.
like I was dying, so I can't remember his name, but his biceps are ginormous against my tiny little head. So I'm sitting there like I'm getting like choked out over here, and I'm like, I can't tap out. I gotta get out of this before I even give in. Oh, it was so bad, but it was like I don't know if you've ever seen I Love You, Man.
I have
So,
a long
I
time
had
ago.
that moment with like Lou Ferrigno. He's like, he's so strong. That was what was going through my
That's
head.
funny.
Like I was like, gotta escape from the Hulk. But otherwise, I'm doing pretty dang good. We are down to 35 days till the move.
Fantastic. Not like you're counting or
Yeah,
anything.
no,
More than a month, just a month away.
I know. How's your week been?
I fought mentally with myself because
Oh,
my Steam Deck is once again getting RMA'd and going back to get repaired. Um, I think it's a battery issue. It won't start unless it's plugged in. So, and it has a 99% charge. So there must be like a connection issue or battery issue, something. So I have to send it in to get fixed. But because of that, I'm going to be without it for a time, and it is my go-to device I take to work. So I
so what
think
are
this
you
is
taking the Switch now?
what? See that's why like today has been jacked up for me because I've been definitely thinking about getting the Switch 2. The Switch 2 came and released today, and my my issue being is I don't want to get it because the only thing I'd play it for right now is the new Pokemon, and the new Pokemon doesn't come out until August,
So then
and
let's
so there's
let
no
it sit
point to
around for
really
two
get it.
months.
But it's just one of those
Imagine.
things where like I have that complete fear of missing out because it's all over my fucking feeds right now. Like
Oh yeah.
I went to Target today to pick up some things for my little girl's teachers because she graduates preschool tomorrow. And while I was browsing the Legos, I heard a few of the employees saying that the Switches are already sold out and gone. And then I walked over to go look.
What?
Even the accessories were gone. I was like, holy shit. Like, it's a good thing I didn't try and getting it today. But that leads me into what I'm looking forward to next. Because Xbox has announced that their plans on a handheld coming out this year has been put on hold. Which means Now I don't have a handheld to look at forward to. However, the company that was supposed to be doing the collaboration with them, Asus, is rumored to be releasing a new Asus Rogue Ally this year, maybe, or announcing it soon. The Asus Rogue Ally 2, which, if it does, hopefully it is a Windows device, or they have two different SKUs where one runs the same OS that the Steam Deck does, Valve's
Oh,
Proton layer,
okay.
their Linux based system. But the reason why I was looking at the Rogue was because I wanted the Windows side of things. Because here's the thing, on PC, Xbox and PC really do a good job of any of the new games coming out. If I was looking at it, I have the Xbox app open right here. The games I have on the Xbox app on my PC
And
go
you
as
said you don't need a
follows.
Switch.
I have a Switch, but I don't. You're right. I don't need the second one right now. I will wait until it goes on sale because at some point I will have to upgrade. Um, so here's the games that I actually own on Xbox: Aliens Fire Team Elite, Fall, Avowed, Death Stranding, Call of Duty, Dungeons and Dragons, Dark Alliance, Deathloop, Deep Rock Galactic, Doom, The Dark Ages, Starfield, obviously, Halo Wars 2, Halo Wars 1, Maneater, Jurassic World Evolution. These are just to name a few. These games I bought once on Xbox, and I can play them
Keyword.
on, yeah, exactly. I bought them once on Xbox, and I can play them on my PC as well. The reason why I was looking at the Rogue Ally 2 is because of the fact that it runs a Windows based operating system. All those games I just talked about, I'd be able to play on the other handheld that I'd get. So the Asus Rogue Ally. I would be able to play Game Pass games on a handheld.
Um, I mean, I don't know who
So,
wouldn't want to.
well, that I mean, the whole idea of the Xbox handheld originally was that was going to be the case.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Xbox collaboration isn't going to come out, and it's still in the works. It's just probably not going to come out until the next gen release in 2 years. I can't wait that long.
No.
Because here's the thing, I've been itching to play Starfield, and working nights, I touch my Xbox twice a week, and it's usually the 2 days I'm off.
Yeah.
So being able to take a game like Starfield, where I can save on the handheld, and the cloud save will go over to my console when I ever do get to play on it, is a huge thing for me. Because I have Starfield on Steam. The It does not run well on the Steam Deck. It does not. Um, and the saves don't correlate with each other, so I can't play here and then pick up
Mm,
here, which is important because at a certain point I burn myself out on a game because I'm playing two different saves of it, and I really stopped playing it. I did that with Fallout. When Fallout was a thing, I was playing it on my Steam Deck on one save, and then on my Xbox on another save, and then I ended up putting it down after a week instead of actually progressing and doing what I thought I wanted to do. So that's what I'm actually looking forward to, is if the Asus Rogue Ally 2 eventually does come out, that's on my list to get, because I did have money put aside for the handheld
for
whenever
the
it was
yeah.
announced.
Oh, the things we have to do as adults.
Hmm. Especially as gamers. And speaking of RPGs such as Starfield and Fallout, I do have a list for us to go over tonight, and it is
Yes.
from the Gamer. Let me get the actual article. I didn't really.
Did
We're
you
not going to
know
read the
Luke
article;
likes
it's too
Starfield?
long.
Never.
Let me guess. Ken said that.
No, he would never.
Oh yeah.
You would never, he would never.
All these games on this list, except for maybe two or three, I have touched and played.
Nerd.
Um, did you just call me a nerd?
No, I just burped. But I
It's like
guess
nerd,
nerd, heavy
nerd.
metal nerd.
No, have you ever seen Revenge of the Nerds?
Mm-mm.
Oh no, you poor girl.
Mm,
You know who I was talking about if you have seen it.
mm-mm. That is
Okay,
an
so
80s movie? Jeez.
yeah, they had four of them, and one of the characters gets married in the fourth one. It's like a college movie type of thing back when they were doing that.
Right. Oh God, it has
So,
Curtis Armstrong in it. Anywho,
mhm.
go on.
So 22 best RPGs where you can be evil by Mitch Raynor, Muhammad L. Jesus Christ, I'm not gonna butcher your last name, Muhammad. So Muhammad, John Aiken, and John Perrick. I want to say Muhammad L. Oh Jesus, Ouardighi or Diggy? No, no,
Spell that again. Ouar.
Dighi. Yeah, I'm
Nope.
not a clue. I don't. I can't. I'm not gonna butcher your name, bud. So if you do end up ever watching this, I doubt you will. I do apologize. Um. So let's start off with number 22. Any guesses?
No. I'm so far like the one that you said earlier.
Right there. Right there. I don't know
Oh
where
my
it is
gosh,
on your
it's right.
screen.
Oh yeah, it's that far corner. So, but then when I look at the stream, it's at that corner.
So number 22
I don't know.
of the 22 games where you can be evil is Fallout New Vegas, and that is so interesting to me because Fallout New Vegas was one of the first games that I played that allowed one of the first, not the first, but one of the first that allowed you to have a morality system where your choices impacted whether people liked you or disliked you based on your actions in the game. And
I didn't
I
even
think
realize that came
that's
out in 2010. Jeez, it's pronounced Steve.
it is it, and I went back to try and replay Fallout New Vegas on my Steam Deck, and it looks beautiful. It definitely is showing its age. So if they ever do like a Oblivion style remaster, I would love to go back to New Vegas.
Steve.
Um, number 21. Now, this game came out last gen. It's called Vampire. Now, this I have a little insight. This was a
I think I just
interesting
looked at
game.
this yesterday. I thought about getting this.
I actually really liked it. It was one game that I bought day one. I never finished it, but I did like look up some of the exterior stuff about it. You play as like a doctor in Muhammad L. Steve, Jesus, Ken. Um, you play as a doctor that is investigating a vampiric virus and ends up getting infected himself.
Loser.
During like Industrial Revolution London. So think of Sweeney Todd
Yes.
around that time frame. No, I think that's actually wrong. I think it takes place around World War One. Let's look.
Same thing.
Vampire. It is not the same thing.
It's all old.
Okay, set during the era of the Spanish flu, London serves as a fictionalized semi-open world composed of four districts. So it takes place during the Spanish Revolution or Spanish flu epidemic in 1918 during World War One. Following, okay, so I was partially right. I liked this game for what it was. It allowed you to do your own thing to try and do the investigations. You had choices of either killing the vampires or saving them or hurting humans, vice versa. Well, what happens is at the very end of the game, your choices dictate how the end of the game plays, as do most games. Number 20, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, this game
Wow,
was
that's
amazing.
interesting. with
I'm
how
surprised it's I'm surprised it's not higher on the list.
that's what I'm it's like so many people play it.
Mm-hmm. It was really well received. The physics was gorgeous. Um, the physics were fantastic in that game. Like you walk through the snow, each step had a snow footfall. Like even the horse's testicles shrank when it got cold outside. That's how like the level of detail that went into this game.
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's
But as
fantastic.
far as like, are you there?
I am.
Okay,
We're
it says
getting
my
choppy.
connection is unstable, kind of like me.
Me. Hey, like my mental health.
I was just thinking, do I have to like log out and log back in again, like I did last
Again?
time? Pain in my asses. Um, but Red Dead Redemption 2, like, oh, they had the morality system, which was interesting because I don't remember the first one ever having that morality system. You just played the story at your own pace. This one allowed you to have a different, or it changed the ending based on how moral you were.
Huh.
So,
I didn't know
as
that.
far as
Even with the
like,
second one.
even with Red Dead Redemption 2 being at 20, like the next one, number 19, Elden Ring, I didn't realize had such a huge morality system until I went in to look at it. Because I played it,
Yeah.
but I played it to just kill things. I didn't realize that the
There
way
was
that this
actually like
game
a
the way this game gives you quests, there's not really an easy way of following them. You just have to read and go to what it's just it's over my head. I like Elden Ring, it's pretty, but as far as like morality choices, I didn't even think there were any,
yeah. I never
especially for
got
it
to
to be
play it,
above
so
Red Dead Redemption. Um,
that's with how much more I wouldn't really say complaining, but how difficult it was for people
mhm,
that were very much like a part of the fan base that I know. They were like,
mhm.
"Oh my gosh, this is difficult." Like, I'm surprised that it beat Red Dead.
Oh yeah, this next one, I would have imagined it being higher on the list too. Baldur's Gate 3.
What?
Now
But
here's the
it's
thing.
so pretty.
It not pretty's not like why we're on
Hey.
this list here. It's 22 of the games where you can be evil. The best games where you can be evil. Baldur's Gate 3 allows you to literally play an evil playthrough where you're murdering everybody. Like
Yes, I
it
think
lets you go full
J
tilt
Rose was
onto the
doing that
evil
for a
side.
while.
And it just I'm surprised it's not higher on the list just because of that alone.
I've seen, I mean, Rose did it from my first like experience, but then I saw more people doing it for streaming, like doing an
Mhm.
evil run through of the game.
I still
So
I think I really want to go back and do an evil run through, like complete evil.
I actually just downloaded it last night.
Yeah,
So
I think it's like 90 gigs. I think I have it installed. I haven't touched it. And it's multiplayer, so you can actually find somebody else to play with. And you have an
uh,
Xbox Series X, so you can actually play it.
I know! Yeah, I got one, two, three, four games last night that I knew that I absolutely needed.
Mhm.
So,
Number
but
17, coming in at 17. I liked this series, Dishonored 2.
which one's that
Now,
one?
Dishonored always it's like an assassin game. It's by Arcane that did like Deathloop.
Okay,
They're
yeah. See, once I
known for the
see
Dishonored series.
the covers, I know what game they are. Okay.
Mhm. And going through the game, you had options to either actually kill somebody, make somebody else kill somebody, or bypass them altogether. And you could pretty much go an entire pacifist route until the end of the game, which gave you the best ending because obviously you're a good guy. But then you could also fuck everything up by just murdering everybody. That's the way I played.
Huh.
And it's one of those games that tricks you into being evil, because when you're going around killing, you obviously think, oh, I'm a stealth guy, I'm an assassin, this is what I do. No, like it tricks you into being evil through gameplay, which is funny. It's unique. I'm 17. I would have thought it would have been lower on the list, but as far as making you be evil, yeah, that's pretty good.
So wait, it's more of like a force thing,
Mm-hmm. And not really force
one
it.
way or another.
Misleads you into it.
Hmm.
Number 16. Now this one I've also played. Divinity Original Sin 2. Now this is why I think this is unique, because Divinity Original Sin 1 isn't on here, but 2 is. 2 had a lot of different options. And I can't even go into them all because you know who made this game?
No.
Larian. Larian Studios, the company that did Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
So Larian is known for their RPGs and their depth and their ability to allow you to do things. And so Divinity Original Sin 2 was kind of like a catalyst for a lot of what you could and couldn't do in Baldur's Gate. It just expanded on it and brought Dungeons and Dragons, because that's what Baldur's Gate is Dungeons and
yeah.
Dragons at the forefront, because there have been other Baldur's Gate games, but were done by different studios. I was
How
a
do
fan of
companies
Baldur's
get
Gate
away
Dark
with that?
Alliance because it depends on who owns the IP. The IP can be shopped around and given to another studio to make a game, which is why you
Oh,
have Star Wars games and Lord of the Rings games being made by other developers.
gotcha. Okay.
Yep. Which is why Fallout could be made by Obsidian and Bethesda, despite Bethesda owning the rights. And it wasn't even originally Bethesda's. Todd Howard says he wanted Fallout, and the guy in charge of Bethesda at the time said, "You got it," by buying the
Wow.
rights and leaving a post-it on Todd Howard's desk saying, "You got it." That's a
Huh.
story we'll look into a lot later. Not tonight, sometime. Now, I know somebody in the chat that will be excited for this one because they've played this one a few times. Cyberpunk 2077 comes in at
Woo!
15. Now, here's the thing. I think Cyberpunk does a really good job of storytelling. As far as being
Yes.
evil, I don't necessarily think you're evil as the character. You are just a
You
product
can
of the
romance a
society.
bear. Oh my god.
Oh, and Baldur's Gate, yeah.
Yes, that's what Kenny
Um,
said.
but as in Cyberpunk 2077, you are basically playing a first-person GTA in a sense. So being evil just really depends on if you just want to kill people. I feel
I didn't even know there was an actual like moral compass on it. Well, not
there
compass, but
there is. I mean, all of
alignment.
these are RPGs, which gives you a range of choice for how you act. And
Well,
a
yeah.
lot of these games, your choice impacts the rest of the game. Cyberpunk 2077 is not far from that.
I think Kenny's a little behind here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he said his internet earlier was not the
Oh.
best, and he'd tune in if he can. So
Oh, okay.
I'm glad he's here.
Yes.
At number 14, we have Dragon Age Origins. Now, just a spoiler alert. This is the only Dragon Age game on the list. And for a lot of diehard fans, Dragon Age Origins is the pinnacle. It is the first one, and it's typically the one where a lot of hardcore fans go back to for choices and what options and choices you had within the
You better not
story.
put down my cyberpunk. Hmm.
So, Dragon Age Origins, I'm glad where it is. It sits pretty comfortably at 14. It definitely shows its age. I tried going back to replay it. Definitely hard to get back into now. Because it was one of
Yeah.
those games that played similar to Baldur's Gate, where you had to like stop time, figure out your turns, control your characters, do your whole thing. The combat was a slog, and because it came out on the 360, it was definitely a slog. Great game though, loved it. Now, speaking of Fallout games, how Fallout New Vegas was 22, I definitely think Fallout New Vegas got the short end of the stick here, because at number 13 is Fallout 3. And I can't for the life of me remember there being a morality system in Fallout 3. And I've played Fallout 3 a few times. New Vegas was the one that stood out to me because you actually had different tiers and different like categories that you were.
It
And
says
it
that it
sits
was
at
put under
13.
as like karma. And
Yeah, I knew
now that I read that, I'm like, okay, that
it
I
had a
actually
karma system
remember.
in New Vegas. I don't remember it being in Fallout 3, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I played it, at least 2 or 3 years. If they do the Oblivion remaster treatment for that, that would be great. Either one of those, I'd be happy for. Uh,
Huh.
now, 12, though. I'm so mad this is so low on the list. I really am. Number 12,
I
Fable.
know.
This is one of the OG games that got me into RPGs in the first place. There's another one on
Fact.
here that really did it, but Fable was the first one that had the action RPG side of it. And the ability to be good or evil and have it like represented on your character was so like formulative.
So amazing to me.
It,
It's
even going back and like
maybe we're just
replaying it.
biased, but
I mean, there's a
it's
reason why I go back and replay it every year.
it's just it's beautifully done for what it was for being like OG Xbox and 360.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It was
seeing where we've
yeah.
came from that, but I always remember being like as a preteen, like, oh my gosh, like you have little butterflies or you have flies all over you. Which games have you gone over? We'll go over it again.
I will go through the list one more time. There's 22, so you're only 10 behind. But Fable was I really think it should have been higher on this list because
Underappreciated, I
there's
think.
two of these on here I don't even remember hearing about. And the first of those would be number 11, Vampire: The Masquerade Bloodlines. I have never played it.
Okay,
Have you played it?
I just learned about these last night, trying to find new games to
Okay.
play.
Mhm.
So it seems very
And you being a
interesting.
girly, vampires are your thing, right?
Hey now, you leave me and my team Edward alone. But it is very intriguing, and I'm excited for Bloodlines 2 to be coming out. Like, I don't know much about the history of the game other than what I was reading last night, but I'm actually surprised that this is this high with how little that I've heard about it. Because this is something that way back then totally would
Yep.
have caught my eye.
Well, apparently has like a really big fan base. So I'm
There's
assuming that is why it's as high as it is.
there so when I was looking it up, there was at least 7 different variations of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I know I've seen it everywhere, but I always get confused about which ones are which. So it's one of those where I never paid attention because if it's like Final Fantasy,
yeah.
unless there's a number that in the series it falls.
Which is one thing I don't like about it because um yeah, so coteries, coteries, I don't even Words of New York, Shadows of New York, Reckoning of New York, and
Mm-hmm.
then Swanson, and then Bloodlines 1 and 2. That's a lot. I think that's all of them.
And I knew there was some for like the iPad and stuff too, I believe.
Yeah. So there's a lot. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah, there's six technically for the Xbox.
And Bloodlines apparently is the best. So if you want to play as a vampire in that series, go to Bloodlines, I guess.
Yes, Bloodlines 2. I
Kenny
need to
Kenny
look at
says
this.
it must be her favorite game. His misses. Number 10, Planescape Torment. Now this is one that I don't remember. I didn't remember what it was until I saw it, and it came out in on April 11th, 2017. So it's not
Ooh.
that old, but it gave me classic like Baldur's Gate vibes and classic Fallout vibes. So apparently you can be pretty evil in it, which is cool. I do like games like that.
Oh, it's
It
like a
kind of
D&D
reminds me
game.
of Kingmaker and stuff. Yeah.
Uh,
But it's done by Beamdog. Never heard of them. But if you're looking into a game like that, that gives you like the classic Fallout vibes, like the isometric top down RPG style game, that's what Planescape Torment is. And it looks very unique. It looks like it mixes magic and science. So,
Ooh.
number 10,
So
I
on a side note, Bloodlines 2 is supposed to come out in October. So no matter what I'm doing this fall. Oh, I just realized that's like the perfect time to drop that kind of game. Hell yeah. Anyways, moving on. Number
October, Halloween, yeah, duh.
hell yeah.
I think that's when
Yeah.
Vampire released as well, or Vampire was around
Probably.
a Halloween.
Hey, you gotta.
Number 9, this I'm surprised isn't as high either. The Mass Effect trilogy, one of the
That's
best
interesting.
sci-fi trilogies I have ever played.
I've never played them,
I
but I know they're really popular.
I absolutely love Mass Effect, and the ability to go renegade and like just be a complete asshole makes you feel it is the male power fantasy is fucking amazing. Like if you want a game that has now that they've updated it, it has good combat, great choices. I really want to go back and like go through this again. I just don't have the time or just like the sit down time to do so.
No.
But Mass Effect trilogy definitely definitely fits on this list. I would only imagine it would have been higher.
Okay, I hate to do this to everybody, but I need to stand up. But oh god.
You just want everybody to
Hey, it got you
look
views
up
last
at
time,
you.
so shut up.
Now
I'm
number
trying to
8.
do us a service here.
Yeah, right. Shouldn't you be showing a little more? Like, come on.
It's there.
Number
Anywho,
8. Banishers, Ghosts of Eden, or Ghosts of New Eden. I heard of this. It was it came out within the last year or two, and I think if I remember right, you you play as like a husband whose wife is dead and a ghost, and you guys work as a team to try and like bring other ghosts to the other side or help them come to peace. If I'm just paraphrasing, let's actually look it up and see what the synopsis is for it.
huh?
Banishers.
So I'm looking at it, and
Oh, you got
developers confirmed that it's a prequel to another game titled Vampire. Interesting.
hmm. It's not.
According to Reddit.
Hmm,
Huh.
well, I'm not even. I don't know if like
I just
listening
work
to
here.
Reddit is a good idea.
I just work
But
here.
the overview, Ghosts of New Eden is a story-driven action RPG set in 1695 North America, where players take on the role of a ghost hunting banishers, Antea and Red. The couple are taken or tasked with lifting a curse from a haunted town of New Eden, but their last mission leaves in Antea fatally wounded and transformed into a spirit. Players must then find a way to free Antea while facing difficult choices that impact the story of and the fate of New Eden's inhabitants. I'm a Matt. Is the Banishers a sequel or a prequel? It won't. It there most likely won't be a direct sequel because Banishers isn't a standalone title. Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. I like how the like another article is why did Vampire fail? It didn't.
I saw
It,
too.
it's hard talking about video games because everybody's like, oh, it failed. It may have failed for not the reasons that everybody would assume. Like a lot of people are like, oh, it failed because it was a bad game. Well, it wasn't a bad game. It failed because it got overshadowed because I also think it came out around the same time as Far Cry 6. Because I remember
See,
getting both the games at the same time. And when you release a game next to a juggernaut like a Far Cry game or Call of Duty or any of these bigger games, it's definitely going to get overshadowed by the bigger game.
you said it came. What was the one you said?
Far Cry. I think it was Far Cry 5. I think it was Far Cry 5.
So that was March 27th, 18, and this was, yeah, June 5th, 18. So
So they came out around the same time.
within a
And
week.
that's why. Because I bought both of them. That's how I know. And I stopped playing Vampire so I could go play Far Cry. Like that's why a game fails because it went up against something it couldn't compete with.
No,
That's
that's
typically what happens.
see now I'm that kid where I'm like, I'm not gonna play the one that everyone else wants to play.
I mean, that's why Titanfall failed. It got slotted in between Battlefield and Call of Duty. And
Oh, but
EA
Titanfall
shot
2.
EA shot themselves in the foot by making Titanfall come out at the same time as well because EA owns Battlefield.
You'd think
Timing,
that they would have
timing
had a
is it.
better tactic on that timing.
No, these guys just want to pump out games and make money. They knew that Battlefield was going to be a moneymaker, and they probably didn't have any hope that Titanfall was going to be good. Titanfall was great.
Titanfall was freaking amazing. I'm ready for a new one.
Me too. Too bad it got
Didn't they
canceled.
announce that they pushed it off though, or they quit
Canceled it.
developing?
The
Now
next
my heart's
game on
broken
our
all
list,
over
though,
again.
has a sequel coming out. In
I don't care
fact,
about the sequel.
I care about
I
the
want
sequel.
one sequel.
I love this game, so I'm glad the sequel is coming out. Xbox has a showcase coming out on June 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern time, I believe. I'm
Probably.
definitely contemplating staying up to watch it after I come home from work because this is the shit I'm interested in. You know. Number 7, The Outer Worlds.
I think I
Love,
looked at this.
absolutely love this game. I've played it multiple times. Uh, my uncle has played Cyberpunk like 3 or 4 times in a row. Outer Worlds was a game I played 3 or 4 times in a row. And it's not a very, very big game. Like there's a few planets. You have small locations that you can visit, but it's the choices and the amount of things you can do in the game that matter to me. And The Outer Worlds was fantastic. You can be evil by turning in the guy you're trying to help or supposed to be helping. So this game is old. Little synopsis. You awaken from cryosleep. You're a colonist coming to Halcyon, or the Halcyon sector, I believe, to recolonize. Well, your ship gets forgotten about. So everybody else colonizes, and your ship is drifting off in space. And the scientist finds it and was like, okay, we need to get you guys incorporated, but we don't want you to be assimilated by the corporate structure that controls this galaxy. So
Huh.
he's like, I need you to be my lackey essentially and help me try to overthrow the corporation so we can let all your other colonists come out and live the life that they're supposed to. Well, you can actually turn in that scientist to the corporations
Fuck.
as the bad guy. And that was one of my favorite playthroughs. But the Outer Worlds is fantastic. The second one's supposed to come out. There's supposed to be a huge, like, Outer Worlds 2 direct
I love
after.
how it just says 2025.
Yeah, it's supposed to be coming out at the end of this year. Um, there's supposed to be a huge direct happening after the Xbox showcase on Sunday, and that's really what I want to watch. I hate watching things after the fact because when I go to like look up the news, it's bombards my feed, and I'm not in
Yeah.
the know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So now I'm finally getting cold.
Number 6, I'm surprised. I'm surprised this one's actually even on the list because yeah, you can be evil, but evil's like really gray area in this game.
Oh,
The Elder
yeah.
Scrolls 5 Skyrim.
Does it actually change the gameplay though?
Not not that I like. I'm replaying it right
So
now,
when
but I
I
can't really
because when I
tell.
think about when you're evil in one particular city, then it's almost
Well,
like
this
Red Dead.
is
You go
why.
into the city and then you have like the bounty over your head in that particular
Hmm.
place. That's all I think about. If
Yeah,
I'm
like
thinking
crime.
of
I
that
mean, you can
context
actively
with
go in and
Skyrim.
like kill everybody. You can kill key characters that prevent you from accessing the rest of the game. Like there is like a level of evil to this, and you can talk to like Daedric princes, which are like the evil princes and stuff like that, the gods. Like you can be evil, but it's like Fallout where the morality system, Fallout 3, where the morality system doesn't really impact my the way I play. You know what I mean? Whereas like
Right.
in Fable, it changes the entire game
Yeah.
based on how you act. Skyrim is kind of that way. I I
I just
don't
don't
I
feel like
think this
it's
should be
as
lower on the
in
list.
it doesn't feel as impactful though. Other than just, yeah,
Mm.
like you kill the wrong person, you don't get that part of the game.
Or
But
a chicken. If you attack a chicken, the whole town comes after you. That's ridiculous.
which is so weird.
But I'm just saying, like, I think Skyrim should be lower on the list.
In this
Uh,
context, yes.
in this context, yeah. It should have been replaced by like Mass Effect or something more of importance.
Yeah.
Number 5, I played this, and I know you can be evil, but it's just one of those games that I didn't. I tried to live as gray as possible. The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt. Like you can basically call out people on their stupidity and be like the bad guy in some of these stories. But at a certain
But
point, you're just trying to find a girl.
technically, isn't he seen as morally gray anyhow?
Yeah, yeah.
So
I mean, yeah.
I've never played the game and I haven't
It
really.
does leave an impression. It does leave impressions on you. The Witcher 3 is a great game. I've only played it like the one playthrough, and it is one of CD Project Red's best games in my opinion. But as far as like choices go, it is a really long game to play in the first place. So going to replay those games, unless you want to spend months playing this game straight, you may not ever see the full game. You know what I mean?
Duly noted.
It has like 900 hours of content, I believe.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's why I think
Let
that's
me
why I
look.
didn't download it.
The Witcher 3 hours. Why does it say 90? Why did it do that to me? You bastards. I put hours of content and it put $97. There we go. Yeah, somebody was like, I'm kind of obsessed with The Witcher 3. I'm only 59 hours in. Blah blah blah. Okay, so
59.
The main story can be completed in around 30 to 50 hours, while a completionist playthrough, including all side quests, extra activities, and the DLCs, can easily take 150 to 200 hours or more.
So that's how many
Yeah,
days? 10?
4, 5,
What?
no, 8 days. 8 days is 200 hours around.
Okay. Yeah, 10 days.
So that is a long time to play The Witcher, even to like get all those side missions. Because if you want to see all the choices, you're gonna have to play the game again. That's another 200 hours. That's 400 hours. That's crazy.
That's a lot of days.
Yeah. So Witcher 3, okay, I get it. I get it. I'm not gonna say it should be higher or lower. There's a lot of gameplay here.
Yeah.
Number 4, however, I have beat to death. Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Shocker.
Yeah. This game was great because at the very end there was a super twist. The game is old as hell. You're most people, if you haven't played it, you're never gonna play it. If you are gonna play it, that's too bad. I'm about to spoil it. So if you want to cover your ears, cover your ears. Now, this to me would be my number one. And the reason why is because Knights of the Old Republic had a light side and dark side feature, similar to like the morality system in Fable.
Right.
Um,
But I feel like that's kind of I don't know, a given. It's Star Wars.
yeah, you played as a Jedi, where you got to like figure out who you were, because you actually wake up not really knowing who you are. You think you are somebody, but you're not. And at the very end, you find out that you are the bad guy. Like, you were the bad guy that has an amnesia, and finally getting told, like, no, you are this guy. And you're like, what? It had like one of the biggest twists at the very end. It was fantastically done. It was such a good game, and it allowed you to be evil, and you had followers that were on the spectrum for being good or evil as well. And so it changed how those characters acted towards you as well. It was such
Kind of like Fable. Sorry.
kind of Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic, I feel, should be higher up on this review. On this, it got a 9 out of 10 when it originally released. Um, it came out in 2003. Let me see when Fable. I think Fable came out in 2004.
Oh yeah, it's old as dirt.
Yeah,
I was in 5th grade when it came out.
my parents bought me the computer version, and
Ooh.
I remember looking at like this was when discs came with like a little book, and the book
Oh
that this game
yeah.
came with was it had a spiral ring through the book. Like, it was such a good like little booklet to have, and I carried that thing around with me and read it religiously. Like Knights of the Republic, everybody knows I'm a Star Wars fan, but Knights of the Old Republic made me venture out beyond the movies. Like, it made me want to play these games. And it was such a good game when it came to your choices. Cannot stress it enough, ladies and gentlemen. If you have not played Star Wars: Knights of the Republic, there's supposed to be a remaster or a remake coming out here soon, but nobody knows when that's happening. Just go play the original. Number 3, I've played this. Not the biggest fan. Undertale. You play as this kid that's basically fighting monsters, and really the monsters are just normal people within the game, but you fight them and you end up being the bad guy. Let's see. Welcome to Undertale. In this RPG, you control a human who falls underground into a world of monsters. Now you must find a way out or stay trapped forever. So, like I said, you fall into this thing, into this world, and most people when they play games, they're like, "Oh, this must be a bad guy. You must kill them all." Well, that's not what you should be doing in Undertale. You can work things out peacefully, and it is just a unique game that way. It's another one of those games that
It's a
kind of
big
tricks you
game,
through
ain't
your
it?
gameplay. Yes and
Or,
no. I mean, it's
okay.
not that old. It came out in 2015. It got
Right, but it's
really
just
good reviews. You can pick it up for $2 right now. $2.50 on Steam. I played a little bit of it, fell off of it, not my cup of tea, but I understand why it's critically acclaimed. The next one I really like. I like that it's on here, to be honest. I don't think it should be as high, but I understand why it is. Tyranny. Remember that isometric game Torment I talked about earlier that kind of had like old school Fallout and Baldur's Gate vibes? Tyranny
yeah.
is that way. In Tyranny, you play as kind of like this emissary or this second in command that's in charge of controlling an empire on behalf of an evil lord. Let's look at it. Play an RPG with blah blah blah. It's from Obsidian, the guys that did Fallout New Vegas, the Stick of
Mm-hmm.
Truth, games like that. So it's really rich in storytelling. Um, Tyranny turns the archetypical RPG story on its head and allows players to explore a new take on good and evil. The player is not a random villager who rises to power, but an instrumental officer with considerable resources and authority. Use that power to enforce a new status quo or try to make the change from the inside. So you're basically like an overlord's
Oh,
lackey,
it's one of those kind of games. Okay.
and you get to decide: am I gonna stay evil or am I gonna be good? Well, why wouldn't you want to be evil? I like being evil.
Because you're a
And
nice guy, Luke.
I like to be evil because I'm a nice guy. That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks. Read the room.
It's your alter ego.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'm too nice to the real people. Time to be a jerk.
um, last but not least, I am not. I I get why this is on the list, but I don't feel it's an RPG. I feel it's more of a city builder than anything. Evil Genius 2 basically puts you in the shoes of Dr. Evil from like Austin Powers, where you get to build your base, try and protect your base, and be the bad guy. However, I don't think this is really an RPG. I feel it is more of a city builder type of game. Let me look it up again. I played a little bit of this and then I kind of fell
It
off of it
says
because I was like,
builder.
yeah, it's a base building strategy game. Like I don't feel like it needs to be on this list because it's yeah, I mean you're role playing as the evil genius, but it's not a
But
real
it's a
role playing
layer
game.
builder.
Exactly. Like you're building an evil lair. You're not walking around third person as the evil genius. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Strat sim builder.
So, as far as lists go, I'm not I think this list kind of falls flat. Because it had good games in it, but I feel like the games that should have been higher were too low.
Too low. And the
Yeah,
I would say the top three were too high. Wait,
yeah,
what was the
no,
third one?
I'm with you. I'm getting the list because as we went through, I kind of deleted them. So,
Oh my god.
so for those that asked, 22 was Fallout New Vegas, 21 was Vampire, 20 was Red Dead Redemption
See,
2.
those need to be at least top 15.
Yeah, Elden Ring was 19. which I think could have been level 20 because like you're not overtly knowing you're being bad. I don't think. 18 was Baldur's Gate 3. That definitely could have been way higher.
Significantly higher.
17 was Dishonored 2, which I feel is about right. Divinity Original Sin 2 was number 16. I think it and Baldur's Gate should be around the same. 15 was Cyberpunk 2077. Feel that should have been a little lower in my opinion. Love the game. I just don't. I'm not playing that game to be evil. You know.
Yeah.
Of course, an ad would pop up right when I'm trying to like go through the list.
Duh.
So 2077 was 15, right? 15, yep.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins, number 14. Also feel that could have been a little higher. Fallout 3, number 13. I don't even think it should be on this list, to be honest. It should be on the list of good RPGs. As far as being evil, not so much. Fable, at number 12. Definitely imagine that being higher than it was.
That's at least
like
it's top 15, but okay, maybe I'm
I
a
would
little
I would have gave it
biased.
I would have had it
top
in the top 10. I would have had it at least in the top 10.
Yeah.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines was number 11.
I feel like that could have gone down a little bit just based off of what I've read.
Planescape Torment was number 10. Number 9 was the Mass Effect trilogy. Definitely fits in the top 10. Banishers Ghosts of New Eden. I haven't played it, so I can't really say whether it should or shouldn't. But if we're going to stick with popular games, maybe it shouldn't have been on the list. 7, The Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds definitely fits my personal top 10 of favorite games of all time. 6, Skyrim. Like Fallout, I think it should be on a different list. It should not be on this one. Number 5, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt. I would imagine that would be good on like a best RPGs of all time type of list as well.
Yeah.
But as far as evil, I wouldn't be going to that game to play as an evil character. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic at number 4. Definitely could be either 1 or 2 for me on my personal list as far as evil games. It definitely fits on this list, especially in the top 5. So it sits pretty where it is at 4. Number 3, Undertale. I'm not going to knock it. Undertale was a decent game for what I played. Tyranny, fantastic game for being evil. You're literally evil from the start, so might as well keep that up. And then last but not least, at number 1, Evil Genius 2, which once again should not be on this list.
Yeah.
I love what it says here. It says Evil Genius 2 is more of a simulator management style game, but there are RPG elements in how you upgrade bases and minions. Some RPG elements. We are talking about RPG games in this list. Some RPG elements does not equate an RPG game. Because I can name a ton of games that have RPG elements that are not RPGs.
Yeah,
it baffles me. Like
my petty comment is like saying that Rainbow Six could be an RPG because you're role playing different characters.
Well,
that's just me though.
Yeah, oh no, I'm with you on that. Like RPG is such like a loose term now that it just encapsulates anything that we play, and it's ridiculous. Tell me I'm wrong.
I mean, Stardew has a better chance being on the list. Let's be real.
Exactly, and you can't be evil in that game, from what I know of. I mean, Graveyard Keeper would have been great. Graveyard Keeper would have been great on this list.
Which one's that one?
It's a Stardew Valley type of game where you play as a graveyard keeper, obviously.
I think yes. I remember we talked about this briefly now that it actually
Love
popped up
that
on
game.
search.
I played it on my Steam Deck and I absolutely loved it. When you're like doing the morgue work and stuff, you can carve off meat and sell it to a local bar.
Like what?
Yeah, that's how you have to make money in the beginning because
I'm
you have to
actually
like
gonna
buy
go and
stuff
add
for your
that.
graveyard. Yeah, add that to your list. Is really an interesting game.
Because I need to get either I need to go get another external hard drive or
That game will take up like 800 megabytes.
oh, I'm already at 96.5% full. So
I always leave at least 10% full just for
I
like
know, but
maneuverability. And updates happen.
I had to get the four that I needed last night. I might delete one, but I had to. I had to get Baldur's Gate. And I downloaded Avowed, and I
Mm.
really wanted to try the Anno 1800 and Monster Hunter Wilds.
I like the Anno games. As
Okay.
far as city builder goes, Anno is one of my favorite like city builder type of games. It's a lot of micromanagement, a lot of depth, a lot of strategy. They have a new one coming out, Anno Pax Romana, where it takes
This is
place in
my
ancient Rome.
ooh.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that one.
So, on that note, I started Avowed last night, and oh my god, it's beautiful.
It is pretty. I
Oh,
fell off
it's
of it.
so pretty.
I wanted to like it as much as I did the Outer Worlds. However, it didn't pull me in like the Outer Worlds did. It's great. The gameplay is great, but it didn't hit home for me.
Yeah, it's really pretty. That's my
Oh, look
my
at that.
inner girly girl coming out. It's so pretty.
Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2, the enhanced editions are now on Xbox Game
There,
Pass.
yeah, yeah. Greg and I were talking about that last night. You know what? I think
Let's
I'm actually gonna.
let's do a recap of what's coming out in the next week before we quit for the night because I will be getting a few games like um Mind's Eye. We talked about that last week. It's supposed to be coming out in 5 days. I do not see that going well. From what I've been seeing online, a lot of people that have played it are not hopeful for it either,
Yeah,
which is not surprising to be honest. Alters looks really cool. It kind of has like a neat sci-fi vibe where you explore. It is. This is what it says. John Dulski is a simple worker who faces impossible odds. Crash landing on a distant planet, stranded and alone, he seems trapped with no way out. Jan's only hope for survival is to employ additional helping hands on board his mobile base. But how? Improvising, as he does, he comes up with a local rapidium substance to create alternate versions of his self. So basically, he clones himself, and it's like a management type of game where you have like this roving base, and it looks really unique. It is on my list. I plan on pre-ordering it tonight once I get paid. It's only $50, and that's the deluxe edition. Like for $50, hell yeah!
that's
Throw
pretty
that in my
great.
back catalog.
What? Oh my god, the child.
um, so that is
There's
on my
gonna
list. That
be
comes
another
out
Final
on the 13th.
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy Tactics, actually. It is a
Oh, that's
remaster of the
September.
original. Comes out in September. Final Fantasy Tactics. That was that Ivalice Chronicles. I don't even know how to
Alice.
pronounce that. Ivalice. I don't
Oh,
know. Like I've only ever read it. I remember playing this game on my Game Boy Advance SP. So I'm excited for it to come out. I will probably purchase it on Steam so I can play it on my Steam Deck on a handheld the way I played it originally for a bit of nostalgia there. Silent
yeah.
Hill F just dropped on the upcoming games. It comes out in also September. Metal Gear Snake Eater comes out in October. Hell is Us comes out in September. I'm going up the list now.
I know. I'm like,
October, Mafia: The Old Country. Are you getting Demon Slayer too?
I
That comes
thought
out in
about it,
October.
but I want to just to say that I've played it. But
Mm.
at the same time, I'm like, I think Greg is the one that got it for me initially,
Mm-hmm.
and I played through like the whole story, and then it was like, okay, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like
RoboCop.
I like the fighter games that are like that, but it's like once I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can only
RoboCop is
relive the
coming out
anime
with a
so many
new
times.
DLC.
I saw
College
that.
Football 26 for those weirdos that play for football
Jordan,
games. Was coming out. When is that? October. What's before October?
September.
September. Comes out in September. And it
Oh,
looks like
Lost and
Madden's coming out in
Random.
September as well.
Is that one coming out soon?
Lost and Random, yeah,
Lost and Random is
17th.
the 17th. Oh, so tempting.
I I still haven't played the first one. I own the first one.
It was very,
I got it on sale on Steam when it was like $5.
yeah, it was
It
very,
looked unique. I like the art style.
I do too. And that was the only thing that really drew me to it, but the word's not redundant. I can't think of the word. And then I'm over here like monotheistic, but
I don't
that's
even know what you're
definitely not
trying
the
to think
word.
about. Uh, yeah, there's a
The,
new like
the the mono is in the word, and I can't think past monotheistic for some reason.
monotheistic has something to do with religion.
I know.
Monotone.
I guess it's just very like it's repetitive.
Well, there
It's
is
like you're
a
doing
new.
like one of like four tasks through it
Mm,
to get to your
so it's
next.
very simple.
It is. So I'm like, I think I got like halfway through it, and I was like, yeah,
There is a new 4X strategy game that's coming out, kind of like Civilization. I'm a big fan of the Civilization games. Revival Recolonization. You basically play. I'm looking at like the Steam page. I see it on Xbox. If I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna play it on my Steam Deck because that's where I play a lot of like
yeah.
my strategy esque type of games. Um, and it's cheaper on Steam, so that's also something. Um, but it's set in a post-apocalyptic version of Earth, and then you have to like rebuild humanity. So that's on my list.
What
I
the
don't know if
heck
I
is
will get it.
Death Kid?
Death Kid. What the?
Yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
comes out
that
the
I
11th.
don't even know what that is. It's
Fast-paced,
fast-paced and
arcade-inspired. Go.
oh, where you? It looks like where you wipe out fast hordes of things like that. Isn't that what Vampire Survivors does?
I have no idea.
Anyways, there's a bunch of games coming out soon. And I'm still stuck playing shit like Skull and Bones because that's what I like.
I'm just happy that. Oh, you know what? I need to buy Splitgate, or not Splitgate. Um, Split Fiction. That reminds me.
Mm. I have Blades of Fire currently installed, Tainted Grail Fall of Avalon installed. Roadcraft, I got past like the first mission in Roadcraft. Haven't gone back to it. Not that I don't want to, I just don't have the time. And the
Yeah.
controls are kind of wonky to me. For those people that like Mud Runner and stuff, I do not know how you guys play these games. The controls are fucking weird. Um, I will go back to keep trying to play it. Oblivion, I still have installed. I haven't really gotten too much further in that because I don't have the time. Like, I don't start playing games that I don't have time to play because
To like just sit. Yeah.
I want to play them and enjoy them. And when I only play them once a week, I can't enjoy them. These are these games
No.
where I have to have multiple days to play. And that's kind of why, like, I was talking about the Rogue Ally earlier because Oblivion is one of those games that I could pick up on my Xbox and then pick up the same save on a handheld and keep going with the same save. Like,
Yeah.
why wouldn't I want to do that? And that's where I think gaming is currently going now, is letting you play where you want to play and keeping the progression across the board. Because the reason why I keep playing Skull and Bones is because I have the Steam version as well. So I play it on my Steam Deck and I play the same save on both systems, on my Xbox and on my Steam Deck. So if I'm grinding out for like a weapon or materials, I can play
Yeah.
upstairs and keep doing that. Like, it's fantastic.
The win-wins of life.
Yeah, small wins. Take them where you can. But those of you that have stuck around this long, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you like to be on the show, maybe have a discussion with us, please hit me up. You can DM me at GigaGamerDad on Discord, YouTube, Twitter, anywhere else you can find me. How about you, Panda? I know you're kind of a lost
Uh,
cause now, right?
I am a lost cause. I've always been a lost cause. What do you mean? Um, yep, I've changed it to BPD, BPD,
Whatever it is on the
CPTSD
screen.
on the screen, Twitch, Instagram, all the social medias,
I was going to
Discord,
say, not on
not on Xbox.
here. Oh, it says you're on Baldur's Gate 3 right now.
I'm gonna
Funny.
be. I'm gonna go make some pizza.
Dive into
So
Baldur's Gate. That's another
dive
game that I
into
want to dive
Baldur's.
back into, and I wish I had time to play again.
Well, this will be my first go around. So
Well, good luck. It does run on the Steam Deck, but not well enough for me to want to play it.
yeah,
And it's not like I don't have a PC that I could play it on, but I don't want to take my PC to work. This PC doesn't belong here. Like like I have a laptop, like something that's designed to take with you. I never take anywhere.
yeah.
But once again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for making it this far, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Have a good night.
Bye.